שם שניר עוז חשפו מאוד חזק.
אני הייתי
My name is Rachel Goldberg. I'm Hersh's mom. I guess should I start with what happened starting Saturday morning? I was upstairs in my house in Jerusalem. I knew that Hersh and a friend of his were sleeping out, camping somewhere. I didn't know exactly where. I normally don't use my phone on the Jewish Sabbath, but it was an emergency and I needed to know where my son was. So I turned my phone on, I believe at 8:23 in the morning. And when I turned it on, there were two texts in a row from Hersh at 8:11. The first one said, "I love you." And immediately at 8:11 also it said, "I'm sorry." And so I knew immediately wherever he was, it was a terrible situation. I took it to mean, I love you and I'm sorry because whatever is going to happen is going to cause you tremendous pain and worry. We've since found out from putting together eyewitnesses from a picture from inside of a bomb shelter that we saw. We tried to put together who was in that bomb shelter with him. We've spoken to eyewitnesses. We know that he was injured in a gun battle. I mean, they were all civilians at a music festival. They were fish in a barrel, sitting in this bomb shelter. Terrorists came to the door. They were throwing grenades in, shooting machine guns. And we know that Hersh's arm from the elbow down was severed, was blown off, and that he tied a tourniquet around with his shirt. And Hamas came in after the gunfire settled down and said, anyone who can walk, stand up and walk out. We are told that he was completely calm. I think he was probably in shock. And he got up and he walked out with 5 other people, young people from the music festival, 2 young women, 3 other young men. They were put on a pickup truck and driven away by Hamas. Then the police told us one thing they knew is that the last known signal, cell signal from his phone was on the border with Gaza.
From the journalists, we're going to start with Becky Anderson from CNN. We're going to go one by one. Please, when you...
As this tragedy was unfolded on Saturday morning, me and my other siblings were talking to my mom on the phone, trying to calm her down. Things were sort of calm when she heard a lot of gunfire outside of her shelter, and we tried to calm her down. That's when I dropped off the call. And both my brother and my sister were on the call with her as the terrorist barged into her home. And we heard a little bit of screaming, and that was our last contact with her. There was no shooting on the call, and the neighbors downstairs also didn't hear any shooting. My mom used the little bit of Arabic that she picked up working as a nurse in the hospital in Soroka for 20 years to calm down the terrorists. And it is our hope, which is a little bit ridiculous at this stage to say that the optimistic scenario here is that she's held hostage in Gaza and not dead on the street of the kibbutz where we grew up.
Itai, my son, joined the army about a year ago. He's in the armed corps. He was serving on the border of Gaza. The last time that we heard from him was Saturday morning, where he said that they were under attack. We know that he was active, that he was in communication for a while, but since then, silence. The formal indication that we received from the IDF is that he is defined as missing in action. What does that mean? It means that nobody since Saturday morning has been able to physically locate him, identify him, and say that he saw him. It also means that he's not in the hospital. It also means that he's not on the deceased list that has been identified.